Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have ourselves a 1v1 on Road to Kharkov. Yes, that's right, I'm back, and it's been a while, but we are back. And I'm excited, actually, because today our heroes are going to be none other than the champion of Sunday Night Fight Season 5 tournament. It is BartonPL, playing for the Soviets, and his opponent is going to be GuruSkippy, playing, well, for the Germans. Now, while the game gets underway, I guess I'll, mention it, even though hopefully most of you noticed. I've been away for a while. The last 2 weeks, only 2 games came out because those were already uploaded previously before I had to, take a little bit of a leave. But yeah, a lot of things have actually changed in the game since I left. We've seen several patches. We've seen the introduction of new commanders, a lot of changes to the units and such. So I'm rusty here because I have not casted in a long while, so if I mention anything that is currently inaccurate and has been changed, feel free. In fact, I encourage you to correct me in the comments so that I can get up to speed with everything that has been changed. Obviously, I have gone through the patch notes, and, I'm a little bit aware of what changed, but, I'm not completely familiar with it, and I may mention things that are no longer the case, right? And yeah, I mean, we have received obviously the announcement. This is old news now, but yeah, I mean the Western Front armies is going to be coming soon in June, so I'm really excited for that, and hopefully that will bring good things to the game. So anyways, let's take a look at what the game has been going on here. So we see that Barton has selected his doctrine, and that is the Advanced Warfare Tactics. He is quite fond of that doctrine. I wonder if we're actually going to see that M5 half-track. Now, 2 new commanders did get introduced into the game in, well, I wouldn't say the last patch, but the last, I guess content patch? Because there were a couple hotfixes and changes after that, so, yeah, I can't really say the last patch. But one of them, spoiler, we're actually going to see here, because those 2 commanders, one for each side, obviously, introduces a unit that we will be seeing more prominently in the Western Front's armies, because the U.S. Army and another German faction is going to be introduced. So those are the Sherman tank and the Puma. So we'll see how that turns out. So anyways, we see an engagement here over on the right-hand side. Combat engineers jumping into the big house. They do manage to force, or well, not force away, but make the pioneers back off and get cover in their own house. However, with 2 grenadier squads coming in to support, that combat engineer squad is forced to retreat quite heavily. Now, with the recent changes, combat engineers are still not, really more effective than they once were, but they are very cheap. They do cost 170 manpower now, so they are what they are, I suppose. As far as combat effects goes, conscripts are better close range than and grants are better long range. So similar to in the old VCO days, the rifles versus the grenadiers. So yeah, I mean, I suppose that's nice. The Grants, also the LMG, is way better at long range and not that great at close range. So anyways, here the conscripts, you can see they actually got themselves a nice little edge there by being rather close to the conscripts. I mean, to the Grants. They managed to kill 2 of them, even though they were in similar cover. And the Grant squad ends up losing that one. Up in the north, 2 Grant squads together, conscripts together as well. As far as buildings goes, we see that Barton has gone for 4 conscripts straight into his doctrine. And for GuruSkippy, we see tier 1, as you would expect, getting himself 4 grenadier squads as well. So 4 grants on 4 conscripts. It all depends on distance and maneuverability, I suppose. Molotov landing there for Barton, getting some good damage in on that Grand Squad. Grand Squad forced to retreat down to 1 man. Gonna make it out of there just fine, but it will obviously lose. Second Grand Squad there for support, managing to get some damage in, while... No, actually it's Tracers. I thought somebody was helping out there. Pioneer squad in the north forced to retreat. Conscripts closing the distance as the 1-man conscript squad in the back trying to hold the line. The Grand squad is as well forced to retreat, but you can see there how the cover system works and such. It's it looks kind of nice. I don't know. I have to get a little bit more experience with it and actually start playing myself to get a little bit more familiar with all the changes that took place. We see Barton pushing forward, getting the 2 cutoff points, managing to essentially cut off almost the entirety of the territory for GuruSkippy. He currently only has this point actually giving him any type of income. And we see a 5th conscript squad coming onto the field for Barton. Back at base, med bunker going down for GuruSkippy, although it doesn't have the med upgrade just yet. It will soon, I'm pretty sure, but Left-hand side, Gren squad managing to capture that victory point, going up against the conscripts that took the cutoff point. Sandbags getting laid down by the conscripts. They do get interrupted by the Grens and are forced to back off into some light cover in that fence rather than the heavy cover the sandbags would have provided. Grens as well backing off, so you can see now that the Grens actually stay at a distance and they are more effective than the conscripts. The conscripts are unable to get the necessary damage in as the Grens just sit comfortably at range and pop shots. So conscripts are, you know, a little bit more, or well, not that they are more maneuverable, but they require more maneuverability and flanking and, you know, getting the, closing the distance fast and getting on top of their enemy. So a lot of Grens in the center for GuruSkippy. Forces all the Soviets away. Points getting recaptured here for GuruSkippy. Gonna allow him to reconnect all those resources. Although the one in the north doesn't actually connect anything. It's the one in the south that is really important. Gren squad does get shot up by a conscript squad on the flank. Forces the retreat. 2 Gren squad duking it out against this squad in the heavy cover. However, they are not capturing the point. So this is actually giving Barton quite a nice little advantage here as far as resources goes. Because all this time, since I mentioned it last, GuruSkippy has yet to connect but 1 point. Now he captures the northern point and connects the center point, but still the southern points, including the fuel and munitions, are not being connected for GuruSkippy. Tier 2 gone down for GuruSkippy. He has not built anything for it just yet. It is currently being built. And Barton still has no additional tech. He did go for medics and Molotovs. No 18H just yet. Doesn't really need to, so there he goes. Conscripts still holding their line at a distance. Grens trying as much as they can to shoot, but it is heavy cover. And the Grens up in the north are, up in the center are shooting against a conscript squad that is as well in heavy cover. So yeah, I mean, cover is a lot more necessary and important now with the recent changes, or changes that have been made in recent patches. So yeah, I mean, we see that being utilized a lot. And now we see Barton coming in for a nice flank here with the conscripts, forcing away the Grens from the center. Combat Engineer squad with the flamethrower, duking it out against Bios with flamethrowers, both of them out in the open. The heavy cover actually increases the damage taken by flamethrowers. If you are in negative cover, that reduces the damage from flamethrowers, so something to keep in mind there. Conscripts pushing to the center, flamethrower goes off, getting some nice damage on that conscript squad, but 2 more conscript squad coming up behind it. We do see that a scout car is now on the field for GuruSkippy, trying to push out those conscripts. The conscripts do not have 18H just yet. 18Hs are getting researched, and they should be active right now. There they go. So that scout car needs to keep its distance a little bit. Conscript squad is essentially hiding there across the hedge. Scout car pops itself and gets 18-ated in the face. Second conscript squad moves into support. Both conscript squads are going to try to run down the scout car, but the scout car is going to be able to shoot him up as they run down. It is damaged, so this conscript squad could Ura and get in range for another one. There it goes. Ura gets activated. 18-8 gets in range. There goes the throw, and down goes the scout car. Nice pickup there for Barton. No more scout car to deal with, and still only 4 Grens on the field. Grens trying to hold the right-hand side up in the north. Gren squad going for the capture of the victory point, as Barton has a triple cap currently going against GuruSkippy. We see 478 to 365 points in the favor of Barton. That sandbag still hasn't been built by anybody just yet. Gren squad's moving to the center. The conscript squad's not able to really hold the line by themselves. Conscripts going down south. Combat engineers, pioneers I should say, and Grens trying to push them away, and they will manage to. The heavy cover really not being too useful here for the conscripts. The PPSHs get upgraded right in time there for the conscripts to get a little bit of burst damage on, well, the Pio squad, I guess. However, they do get shot up as they retreat, forcing the instant retreat down to 1 man. Can they make it out? Shots fly, but no, the Gren squad does not manage to get the kill, and the conscripts makes it out of there. Barely. Center point getting captured by GuruSkippy. GuruSkippy managing to push back with his 4 Grenadier squads. The conscripts are getting reinforced and healed up back at base. We see 3 squads now moving in together. We see Tier 4 going down for Barton as he builds Tier 2 just as a stepping stone. Not building anything from it, at least just yet. We see another scout car getting produced for GuruSkippy, and we see the selection of the mobile defense doctrine for GuruSkippy, and that is one of the new doctrines that got introduced. It gives you the ability, which is not a passive ability, which I thought at the beginning, but it's a global ability that you can activate that allows you to PPSH is equipped at the same time for these conscripts, all of them barreling down on that Gren squad trying to retreat. They're going to do some damage, but it looks like it's going to be fine. They're getting sufficient distance away from them. Anyways, the Doctrine, the mobile defense Doctrine, it gives them a global ability that lasts for 1 minute that allows your units to cap faster. Then you got your smoke on your vehicles. You got the command tank. Another call-in of Ostrupen, but I believe it's like kind of like the Americans combat group, but just made out of Ostrupen, which come out with random veteran seasons things. And then you have a Puma. So let's see if we actually see the Puma and get ourselves a quick vision of things to come, right? Conscripts over on the right-hand side managed to get in range for that 18A to go off on the scout car. The scout car gets criticaled, as he normally would, and the conscripts continue to pursue. Scout car running away. These conscripts, they don't actually have enough for more 18A, so the scout car will be able to make it out of there alive. The Grens are at a distance, managing to nail the conscripts with more damage. Rifle nade flies into the cover, and the conscripts are long gone before the nade falls, but they do force them off of the field. Scout car does stay alive, so GuruSkippy will be able to recover in that sense. Pioneer squad over on the left-hand side. We see S minefields getting laid down around the victory point. Conscripts running into one. They actually detonate, but only take superficial damage, no actual health damage. There he goes. Runs into another S mine and loses the one man. But the conscripts just circle around the point. He is going to need some combat engineers with minesweepers if he wants to clear that without any real damage. Panzer Grenadier squad getting produced for GuruSkippy, utilizing his tier 2 for other than scout cars. And the scout car still on the field. We see Pyos moving back, and they're going to start executing those repairs. LMG is getting equipped on some Grens. Only one Gren squad has it so far. Panzer Grenadiers on the field. And, well, tier 4 is down for Barton, but he has yet to build anything from that. Has 5 conscript squads on the field with PPSHs. Combat engineers out, new combat engineer squad on the field, and he's getting his minesweeper as he should, and he's probably going to send that straight over to the left-hand side and try to clear out that S minefield, which is kind of annoying. Conscripts, heavy cover against an LMG Gren. They are taking quite a bit of damage, even with the cover that is provided. That one man was out in the open, so he kind of deserved to die there. Conscripts moving down the road. They are going to try to set themselves up for a nice flank. We see a conscript squad over on the left-hand side running into scout car and more Grens, but the conscripts in the center, they decide to just simply close the distance, get themselves right on top of that LMG Gren. Rifle nade flies, nice rifle nade for GuruSkippy, nails one of the conscript squad, forces it away at 3 men, down to 2 men on the retreat, gets them away. Conscripts get themselves into heavy cover, more rifle nades may be able to fly in their direction, but GuruSkippy is kind of low on those munitions. And the LMG is still there. Scout car moves into support, and the conscripts just trying to hold out as long as they can with their PPSHs. Left-hand side, combat engineers trying to clear out that S minefield, but Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers barreling down on top of them. If Barton doesn't deal with this very quickly, he's going to lose the entire squad. I think he's actually going to lose the entire squad. No, there it goes, retreats. Can the squad make it out? They are going to take some losses on the retreat, I think. Taking some health damage there, but 3 men actually stay alive. And yeah, that could have actually gone a lot worse. And we now see the Puma on the field for GuruSkippy. This is one of the new units that we will probably see normal from the other army. And, well, if you ever played Vico, well, Company Heroes 1, well, you're going to be familiar with this guy. And, yeah, I don't actually know what the upgrades are that this guy can get. But, well, I suppose that'll be something that we will wait and see some other time. So yeah, the Puma is on the car. It says, this advanced 8-wheel armored car has some high max speed but poor cross-country capabilities. The 50mm cannon deals good damage to vehicles, while the coaxial MG42 machine gun provides minor anti-infantry fire. And there we go. So, center map, we see Grens pushing forward. Combat engineers hold up in the house. We see more Grens and Panzer Grenadiers on the left-hand side. Up in the north, conscripts barreling down on some Grens. The Grens forced to retreat. They were trying to take the point. Victory points are 355 for Barton, 338 for GuruSkippy. So pretty much a dead even match right now. It's anybody's game. We'll see how it turns out. More Pumas on the field for GuruSkippy. So he is calling those in. What is the cost of those? You know what? I know this is going to not be quite elegant, but let me take a quick look at GuruSkippy so that way we can actually take a look there. Okay, so that thing has target weak point, and it costs 270 manpower and 80 fuel. Okay, there you go. That's actually kind of expensive. Panzer Grenadiers push all the way up to the north. We see an Su-85 on the field for Barton, so he's going to try to keep those cars at bay. However, I think they are quite maneuverable, and they do have a 50mm cannon, so they actually might be able to do some damage to the Su-85 if they can get behind them, and I'm pretty sure they're fast. So we'll see how that works out. Conscripts getting engaged by some Pios. The Pios doing quite a bit of damage to them. PPSHs, however, do kick in and do a lot of damage to the Pios, forcing them away but not getting the kill. Up in the north, conscripts retreating as the Grand Squad goes for the fuel. And on the left-hand side, we see the conscripts taking the point as the combat engineers work diligently there to clear out that S minefield that has been rather annoying for Barton. But he clears it out and now has the left-hand side open. Su-85 just maneuvering around the center as the north is falling to GuruSkippy. And we see a third Puma on the field. That is a lot of Pumas. A lot of Pumas. And there they go. Well, I guess 3 was the magic number here for GuruSkippy. What was that shooting? Scout car? Yeah. Pumas moving up to the north. Su-85 is moving in the wrong direction to counter those. He's trying to hunt down that scout car, it looks like. Conscripts and combat engineers moving into the center. Sandbag still not getting produced or built by anybody. Pumas moving back down. And are we finally going to see some Pumas shoot? No, does not look like that's going to happen just yet. Scout car opening up on the conscripts. Su-85 moving down to support the conscripts. Going to get a shot off on that. Oh, what was that? Is that a mine? Yeah, it looks like it was a mine. What the fuck was that, says Barton? Yeah, I think that was a Teller mine, and the company, it got detonated. Yeah. Puma moves into the left-hand side, getting some shots in. You can see there that it's an actual cannon. It's not like the auto cannon here on that 222. It's, you know, quite... Wow, that's some weird maneuverability on those tanks. Oh my god, look at it. Damage go down on that Su-85. 18-8 goes off on one, but... Oh, wow, they're really good. Conscript squad retreating. Let's see how good their anti-infantry capability is for the Puma. Retreating through 3 Pumas, and doesn't look like they're very good. So yeah, it looks like hit-and-run tank killers, essentially. They're not very strong, but they don't need to be. They can kill. Wow, that Su-85 died very quickly. There was a lot of rebalancing on the vehicles. You know, armor values and such got changed. I'm not entirely familiar with what happened there. Maybe I can actually get that information while I'm doing that here. Maybe. I don't know. So anyways, the Pumas just roaming around, moving over to the right-hand side. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty good at killing tanks, it looks like, but they're not that great against infantry, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, you can see there, they're just shooting. The scout car is actually a lot more effective against the infantry. Conscripts trying to withstand the onslaught of the Pumas and scout car in that heavy cover. They are actually managing to stay in there. Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward, followed up by Grents. They do manage to get the cap on that munitions point, but they do need to get themselves out of there. Well, an IL-2 strafing run right on top of the Pios, it looks like. Conscripts do, however, get taken out as they... I'm not sure if they retreated or they were moving back. AT gun on the field for Barton. He's going to try and see if the AT gun can actually do better than the tank. Conscript squad forced to retreat as Panzer Grenadiers just rip it to shreds. It is better in T3, however, but even then it's kind of painful. And yeah, let's open up the change log and see if we can get that. AT gun going off over on the right-hand side. Left-hand side falling once again to GuruSkippy. GuruSkippy managing to capture everything. 318 to 318 points. Again, pretty dead even match, but GuruSkippy currently has a triple cap against Barton, so that's going to change very quickly, and there it goes. and we see conscripts pushing into the center. More AT guns on the field, so it looks like Barton is not going to bother with vehicles because, well, I mean, it makes sense because it looks like those Pumas are very good against tanks. So he doesn't have tier 3 to, you know, get a more mainline tank like a T-34. Maybe he could use Su-76 and try and catch him off guard, but even then that would die very quickly. It would get outmaneuvered. Panzer Grenadier Squad forced to retreat on the right-hand side. Up in the north, we have Grenz capturing that fuel. We have conscript squads nearby, but nothing there for support on the conscripts. Left-hand side, Grenz squad capturing territory as conscripts and combat engineers move back down. And back at base, we have the Pumas just getting repaired by Pios. We have 2 Pios already repairing. One of them is still actually damaged with the engine. The scout car taking a little bit of damage. So this allows Barton to actually pull back into the game a little bit, because the well, the vehicle support, all the armored support, is currently off of the field for GuruSkippy. Grenz pushing into the center. AT guns around, getting some shots off on the infantry as they approach. Conscripts appreciating the support there. Grenz in the center, forced to retreat as conscripts with VPSHs just run at them. And we have a command tank on the field for GuruSkippy. That's actually going to be very difficult to deal with. I mean, there are AT guns, but, you know, he can very easily just stay clear of that, and that is actually going to provide a defensive buff to the Pumas as long as they are in the territories. Well, I mean, the same territory as the command tank, so, yeah, that's going to be painful. Here we go. Vehicles moving over to the left-hand side. Barton is moving around the center. He is laying down some sandbags. Is that position actually going to block passage over here, or just give more heavy cover? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if I tell them to move. Does it show me where it moves through? No, it doesn't. Oh, well. Left-hand side, combat engineers trying to cap the point, and they run into scout cars and Pumas. Scout car chasing them down, doing a lot of damage. Might be able to kill them, but they are down to 2 men. Low health. Scout car moves in. And T-3485 gets called into the field. Conscripts push forward, force the scout car away. And T-3485 might be able to fare better against all these Pumas, as it is more of a mainline combat tank. Command tank, however, is nearby to provide support, so the T-3485 definitely does not have an easy fight ahead of it. Pios running into the conscripts just ripping them to shreds. Conscripts in the center. We see a flamethrower dropped in the world. Not exactly sure who dropped it. AT guns set up, trying to get some shots off on those Pumas. A nice shot goes in. Puma gonna be taken down. Shot. Shoot. What? Why is it not shooting? Oh my god. Worst crew ever. So Puma does not die. AT gun sets themselves up to actually get a shot off on the Puma. Shoot. First shot hits the wall in front of it. Second shot misses completely on the Puma. Shot misses once again. There he goes. Finally gets it killed. AT gun gets decrewed. And the second one might actually die. Pathetic display there by those AT guns. And the RNG is not in Barton's favor right now. So both AT guns do get decrewed. T-3485 moves in to stop the Grenz from capturing it. We see the command tank pushing forward. Pumas moving back, but wow, they have ridiculous movement. They like just stop on a dime and turn around. Like, yeah. Pumas gonna try to get the flank in on that T-34. The T-34 backs off. The AT guns are still decrewed there. The conscripts are trying as much as they can to deter those Grenz from capturing. More conscripts in the north trying to hold the line with combat engineers there mixed in. Veteran C3 is acquired on the Grenz, however, so they gonna take a little bit. We see something blowing up. What was that? What blew up? I don't think anything blew up. I think it was just... yeah, I think it was those barrels there. Okay. Command tank backs off from the center. Conscripts pushing out to cap. T-3485 just moving around the flanks, keeping his army in between him so that he doesn't get surprised by the Pumas. Not a bad decision. Pumas and scout car moving over to the left-hand side. Scout car utilizing its infantry awareness to detect the infantry at long range. We do have a mortar on the field for Barton. Interesting decision there. Not bad, though. AT guns getting recrewed by conscripts. Conscripts forced to retreat to reinforce. And the AT guns are going to back off as well. They could do with some reinforcements, but not sure if Barton will send them all the way back or just merge. More squads. It is the quicker way to do it, but it's kind of annoying. Conscripts running into some Grents with LMGs. The LMG is not as effective as close range as it once was, and the conscripts get the advantage there and force away the Grunt squad. Pumas moving over to the right-hand side with the scout car there for support, trying to stop those conscripts. T-3045 is there for support. Can it actually get a shot off on that scout car? It'll get a shot off on the Puma. Nope, it's actually just going to whiff it completely and miss the Puma. Wow, those Pumas are very lucky and agile, I suppose. Crew shot going off on the T-3485 by one of the Pumas, it looks like. And shots continue to fly, and the Pumas just don't take any damage, so they might as well be heavy tanks because they just don't get hit. Wow, T-35 whiffs it again and misses completely against the scout car. More shots fly from the Pumas, and the Pumas force away the T-34. That's painful. T-3485 backing off. AT guns back in full order. They're going to head back out onto the field. As conscripts is moving around down south trying to recapture victory points. 214 for Barton, 318 for GuruSkippy. So GuruSkippy still holding the lead by 100 points now. Excuse me. Need a drink. And yeah. Center point, conscripts pushing forward, getting some Grents. Grents forced to retreat. AT guns there for support. The Pumas are not nearby. Well, they are nearby, but they're not there, you know, in the engagement, so the AT guns will not shoot at anything. We did still only have 2 Pumas. One of them did get lost. It looks like not entirely sure. GuruSkippy does have, actually no, he had, but I think he built something. I don't know exactly what he built, but oh well. Maybe teching. Scout car and Pumas, very nasty combination there. The conscripts really unable to stop them in any way. We see the T-3045 moving down that direction. Excuse me on that, had to sneeze. And T-3485 moves into support, but a target weak point goes off on one of the Pumas, disabling the T-3485 for a little bit. But it backed off enough that it wouldn't really take too much damage or be in any danger. And the Pumas are just nearby getting repaired, as this one actually did take quite a bit of damage. Right-hand side, conscripts forced to retreat as Grants, well, just outclassed them. Company engineers repairing that T-3485. T-3485 now back to full strength. Not enough fuel just yet for Barton. He still needs 40 more if he wants to get another one of that type. We'll see if that's what he goes for. And, yeah. T-3045 pushes forward a little bit unsupported. We do have a company engineer squad nearby. Shot flies at one of the Pumas, but doesn't actually manage to do much. Puma with veteran C1 pushes forward. Does not get a shot off on the T-3045. And it looks like Barton was trying to bait those Pumas into the AT guns. The AT guns, however, are looking in a weird direction. They're not looking in the direction of the enemy. They're looking more towards the victory point. T-3045 moves up, gets some shots off on those Grens. The Pumas are still repairing. The command tank is still there. Up in the north, Grens capturing the fuel point and the munitions point. Conscripts running at him. Going to be able to do a lot of damage, so GuruSkippy retreats. Mortar is on the field. Veteran C3 Mortar, in fact, with only 9 kills to its name, but, well, those are very nice kills, I suppose. And the Puma pushes forward, backs off again. T-3045 did actually take quite a bit of damage there, and the combat engineers pop out to get some repairs going. And more conscripts on the field for Barton, it looks like. Yeah, it's a fresh squad. It has seen some action, but not too much. So he's up to 5 squads once again. 1 combat engineer. He lost his minesweepers. Has a mortar, 2 AT guns, and a T-3045. And we see tier 4. So yeah, he's taking tier 4 going down for GuruSkippy. It's interesting. Let's see what he decides to go with. Panther would be the obvious solution, as that could spearhead the charge against the T-3485. And with the support of the Pumas, do very quick work of that tank. Brumbar would not be a bad choice, considering the amount of infantry that there's on the field. So that could very easily do a lot of damage. And even the T-3045 couldn't really do much to it. I mean, it can kill it, but not very quickly. So the Brumbar could get out of there very easily. And a Panzerwerfer would also not be a bad choice, considering the AT guns and, again, the amount of infantry could catch some infantry out of position while they're capping and try to kill off the squads, although I guess the Panzerwerfer is probably the least likely to be produced from that. Strafing run coming down right on top of those Grens. A lot of damage going down. Kills 2 of the members. Does a little bit of splash damage, and there they go. T-3045 pushes forward, getting some shots off on the command tank. Second T-3045 moves in to relieve them. 18 guns back there for support. We see a, what is that? A flamethrower getting dropped there by somebody. That looks like it might have been a Pio squad. Grenadier squad just getting ripped to shreds, down to 1 man, not even managing to get that. You see the rear armor hit display now. That is one of the recent changes. They added that. Oh, nice shot there by the AT gun. Actually nails that Puma. Puma goes out of control and crashes. Command tank still alive, still in front of there, but just now getting assaulted by 2 T-3045s. Down it goes. Puma now the only thing standing between those T-3045s and essentially the base of GuruSkippy. Not able to do much against 2 T-3045s. It does do damage to them, however, but it is, you know, it's a very uphill battle, I should say.
Our T-34s have been outfitted with 85mm guns. We will follow their tracks to victory. Yes, comrade?
Okay. Nice little message there. So a nice little victory there for Barton. Manages to restabilize, gets a triple cap going, and, well, has had it for a while against GuruSkippy. GuruSkippy now down to 131 points, while Barton's sitting at 208. He has a lot of infantry on the field, and getting another combat engineer squad as well. So his ability to cap is far beyond. And wow, I was wrong. I would have thought it would have been something heavier to counter those T-3045s, but no, it looks like Panzerwerfer is in fact what GuruSkippy is going for. So I mean, yeah, I mean that can help against those AT guns, try and clear them out, since you know they're the most static of them. But other than that, I don't see too much usefulness for them. Grand Squad getting eliminated there in the center as it runs straight into the fire of 2 T-3045s and some conscripts there. Nice little maneuver there by Barton. He keeps his conscript squad right here in this pocket. You can see, oh, sorry, you can see this little U formation there, little pocket there between the hedges, which means that you can hide units in there and wait for ambush. So it's quite nice. You know, it can't be seen by any angle until you're behind it. So by the time you're behind it, the guns are already shooting in your face. T-3045s move in for a circle and go over to the north, running to some Pios. The Pios forced to retreat. We also have a munitions cache up here for GuruSkippy. Gonna be going down very quickly. Rear armor hit on that T-3045. That pack gun almost taking it out, but stays alive. Very lucky there for Barton. And on the far left-hand side, we see a Puma supporting the Panzerwerfer. Shots flying at the AT guns. Nice damage going down by the Panzerwerfer. Kills 2 members of each AT gun, but that's about it. Which is why I was saying it wasn't really the best option because, well, yeah, you can utilize it for that, but it's not going to be very reliable on actually getting the kills. However, a nice little flank there by GuruSkippy gets the kill on one of the AT guns. Second AT gun getting circle strafed. And the Puma's nearby there for support. However, it dies to small arms fire there. Or was it the AT gun? It looks like it might have been the AT gun. Scout car does manage to get the decrew. Conscripts push forward. Can they get in range for the AT nade? No, they do not manage to get in range. And Morgan's moving down, but down to 35 points for GuruSkippy. Unable to capture anything. He does have a Pio squad in the center, getting shot at by mortars, and he manages to decap the northern point with the other Pio squad. So he's going to stop the bleed. Well, not stop the bleed, or actually, yeah. Although GuruSkippy says GG and calls it. Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, obviously you can see there by the unit count. Yeah, he was far behind there, but yeah, nice. Very nice to see the well, I wanted to actually see it, but it's actually dead. You can see the carcass of it right there. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see the new units. Whether they're balanced or not, I don't particularly know. Some people say yes, some people say no, but then again, everybody says yes and no every patch. So, although sometimes it is blatantly obvious when something's broken. But yeah, very nice, very nice. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. I do have to say, I apologize to everybody that sent any replays during those 2 weeks of absence. Wasn't able to get those casted, and obviously updates have come out, so those replays are no longer working. So once again, sorry for that, but I'm taking replays once again, and I'll be casting those as soon as possible. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.